Who is Keqing? Growing up in a higher class family of noble birth, Keqing grew to become the Yuheng of the Liyue Qixing. She's known for being extremely skeptical of the gods and archons, and as a member of the Qixing, she highly questions Rex Lapis's authority. She recognizes that he's looked over Liyue for centuries, but questions whether or not he will going forward. She questions if he really knows everything, and if he really knows what's best for the people of Liyue.
What do you think has kept Liyue going over the last millennium? Rex Lapis? I disagree. We mortals have to fight for survival whatever happens. He just feels the need to come down here and poke his nose into everything that's going on for some reason. People don't like to think about this, but should we really be trusting him to be an expert in everything?
If their Archon were to suddenly leave, what would happen to the people of Liyue? She often holds opposing views to those of Rex Lapis, but despite her skepticism, Rex Lapis himself respects her and says that Liyue could use more people like her. She strongly believes that humans' views should have equal importance to the views of the gods, and believes that humanity would be better off on its own without the Archons. But through her skepticism, she very much just wants the best for Liyue. One of Keqing's political recommendations is to click the subscribe button. Keqing is extremely hardworking and rarely ever takes breaks. She has a strong sense of responsibility to her job and those she takes care of. She does not rest until her job is done, and if she sees something that needs done, she prefers to do it herself. She strives for efficiency and is very much a perfectionist. She works so hard and tirelessly that no assistant she's ever hired has made it past 3 months of working with her. Something that she carries with her always is an electro-infused hairpin. She uses it as a knife, weapon, and overall survival tool for fishing, cooking, fire, and so on. Her hairpin never leaves her side. She's also been known to be skeptical about the value of visions as well as her own vision. For many years she saw her vision as a curse and an insult from the gods. She believed it to be imbued with divine will, which would directly oppose her views of humanity not needing the gods. She saw it as a curse because over everything she wants to be valued for her hard work, alone, without others seeing it as a gift from the gods because of her vision.
If a vision means the approval of the gods, then I don't see why I should want one. In fact, I find it quite insulting. It's like trying to say everything I've ever achieved is all thanks to the gods looking out for me. Well, I got to where I am today through my own hard work. The gods had nothing to do with it.
She believed that having a vision stole the credit for her work, credit that she believed should be hers alone, and she began to resent her vision. Ironically, it was most likely given to her by the gods as a result of her hard work and dedication. She even tried to destroy her vision multiple times by leaving it in a fire for multiple days, running it over with a minecart, and even throwing it off the top of the Jade Chamber. All of her attempts were unsuccessful though, and not wanting the vision to fall into the wrong hands, she eventually grew to accept it as her own, stating that the source of the power is far less important than the character of its user. She used it as a tool for practicality after realizing it wasn't imbued with any sort of divine will after all, and could prove to be useful. After the events of the Archon Quest, Keqing does gain a lot of respect for Rex Lapis. Spoiler warning ahead, skip a few seconds if you don't want to hear this. After Rex Lapis's death, Liyue is left to its own, just as Keqing was worried about. At first she was very happy about this change. She saw it as a way to further prove her hard work and dedication. But after a few months being stuck on the same tasks, she began to realize how useful Rex Lapis actually was when he was around. She was able to get things done as more and more tasks piled up around her, but not with nearly as much ease as Rex Lapis could with his vast amount of knowledge. So even though she still doesn't like Archons and gods, she can see a little bit of how they are helpful and they do care for their people. Though her outward appearance can be harsh to some, in reality Keqing is just very passionate about her views, work, and she does the best she can to care for those around her.